I'm Diane Connery, the director of the Pottsboro Library and an advocate for rural libraries. I became involved with the library 11 years ago with no library background and having never lived in a rural community. Born out of desperation to secure funding to keep our doors open, the library was forced to reimagine its role in the community. Having a blank slate and an entrepreneurial approach gave me a unique perspective on the potential impact the library could have. The importance of small and rural libraries as the hub of the local information ecosystem is frequently underestimated and misunderstood. Rural libraries have a different role in their communities than their larger counterparts. Rural libraries see the needs from an up close viewpoint in our communities, but we have limited capacity. There are more needs than we have the capacity to meet. Through partnerships, we can extend essential services. There's so many needs that our approach has been to pursue our own interest that we uncover, along with what passionate community partners bring us. Because of limited local resources, rural libraries serve a strategic role in extending public services. In a small town, there are fewer local government workers to make things happen. The city manager might be busy digging ditches for sewer repair or working on the city water well as opposed to planning for the future or dealing with current quality of life issues. The small tax base and sparse staffing mean city workers are spending their time on essential services. In an emergency, they're overwhelmed. The rural library becomes the de facto public facing arm of city government. In a larger city, there are entire departments that are responsible for different tasks. By focusing on things that matter and gaps in services, libraries can successfully compete for more funding. And that's where the rural library fits in, bringing the community together, cross section of demographics, to talk about big issues, sharing information that isn't otherwise available because of the media and information gap, and connecting people to the essential resources they need. Rather than being a diluted version of their larger counterparts, these libraries serve a different purpose in their communities. We are the public facing entities that can make the programs and services real. I don't think that many people outside of these small towns understand that we aren't doing the same work on a more limited basis than more sophisticated libraries. We are doing different work. One barrier is overcoming the stereotypical image within the community about what a library does. And to that end, we strategically attract media attention through innovative programs. I'm going to share some examples of the work we've been doing to provide an overview. Similar work is happening at rural libraries all over the country. Rural communities often lack public transportation as well as access to grocery stores. Dollar stores are the only source of groceries for people who have to walk to shop for food. Our community garden, edible landscaping in front of the building, and library of things with cargo bicycle provides the only access to unprocessed foods for some community members. And speaking of essential services, drinking water isn't regulated by the same government entities in rural areas in Texas as they are in cities. Libraries are able to work on these projects on a larger scale than individuals can. National Library of Medicine funding allowed us to obtain EPA certified testing of water samples and leverage local college expertise to oversee the program. Step one for establishing the state of the digital divide in our area was to get an accurate picture of the status. And while we don't have all the technical skills or the capacity to serve the identified needs, rural libraries can act as a catalyst to bring the resources together, at least to host the conversation and identify interested stakeholders. Ensuring the well being of the community can happen by working with internet providers to install equipment with dedicated spectrum for low income residents. The public can check out routers at the library in our case, and installing neighborhood access stations throughout the area for people to use Wi-Fi. Through partnerships, we've been able to connect people with internet access in their homes, and that's the ultimate solution. It's not a band aid. The pandemic exposed the need for online healthcare through the library for people who lack connectivity, private space, and digital literacy skills. Establishing a telehealth site leveraged the strength of our library staff and our resources. Rural libraries see the needs in our communities, but we have limited capacity. Attention needs to be focused on prioritizing essential information services and communicating the library's role. There is a need for better understanding, even among the rural libraries themselves, what our potential is. Library schools and many national organizations do not seem to have a clear picture of what we do. Relationships with library schools and researchers could facilitate the flow of information communication that could benefit the whole field.